What's happening, Hardscapers? Let's get into creating an estimate or creating a quote in our business based on our budget. If you missed that budget episode, go to our last episode. Everything that we've learned in our budgeting, we're going to apply to our estimating and quoting. Let's get into this. All right, we talked about budgeting and making sure that we've applied all of our expenses in our business, in our budget, that we can then apply everything to. When it comes to estimating and quoting, we do not use a square footage price because every job is different. Every job, something different happens that affects the way in which we can continue with that project. It could be soil types, it could be soil conditions, it could be a missed delivery, it could be a machine went down, it could be somebody calls in sick, but whatever it is, every job is different. It could be the access to the project. It could be the run that we're going from the road all the way to the backyard. And applying a square footage pricing is like navigating through the woods without a compass. You just don't know what you're exactly doing. You may get to the finish line, you may not, but if you got to the finish line, you're really lucky. When it comes to budgeting and estimating, don't leave anything to luck in your business. That will come back and bite you. So in our business, we use production rates. So we keep track of every task in building that project and how long it takes us in the square footage on that project or the run to the backyard for that project so that we can create an average. So let's take this for an example. If we're doing a 100 square foot excavation for a patio and that excavation takes us 1 hour to do, we're going to add that to our spreadsheet. If then on the next project that's 200 square feet and that takes us 2 hours to do, it's still that average of 100 square feet for every 1 hour, and that is our production rate for excavation alone. We then need to accomplish that and get this average for everything. Compaction, running base to a backyard, screeding, laying, cutting. These could be linear footages, these could be square footages. We also need to note the run to the backyard, the access to the backyard. All of this data, all this information is going to help us to get an average square foot per hour it takes us, and that is our production rate that we can then apply to estimating and quoting. Once we have all these production rates figured out, we can send this off to anybody in our business, teach them the system of quoting and estimating, and they can come up with the same price that you yourself would have come up with. All of this data can help you to quote properly. So I'm going through quoting a project and I'm going from excavation to base prep to screeding to laying to polymeric sand to edge restraint, and I'm going through each of these and I'm saying, if I'm quoting now a 1,000 square foot patio, I'm saying, well, the 100 square foot patio took me 1 hour to do the excavation. That 1,000 square foot patio is going to take me then 10 hours to complete that excavation. That's where the production rate helps. Now that's not exactly perfect real world scenario, but that's kind of the gist of how those production rates will help you each step of the process and to ensure that you're including each step of the process. So production rates will give us that hourly rate that we can then apply our labor to, our in-field labor that is hourly. We can say that this person's going to be on that project, this person's going to be on that project, foreman 1 and laborer 1, and this is how much they make per hour, and they are going to be in the field 100 hours for this project, so this is how many hours is going to be applied for them. We talked in the previous video about budgeting and how all of our overhead expenses are also included in that hourly rate. We then need to come to material costs, and this is quite easy to do. So we're going to run through this. We're just going to say interlock 1,000 square feet for this project and all the base material that we need. We can go through the calculations, the polymeric sand, the edge restraints, and then we can apply a markup amount, and that totally depends on you, your business, whatever you're comfortable with doing. What we do in our business is we basically apply the retail rate of that product as opposed to the contractor rate. So our material markup is actually that difference between contractor and retail pricing. Now with all that said, in our estimate and quote, we then have an amount that we can apply our profit margin to. We talked about that in our budget video. You'll want this to be more than 10%. Overhead expenses, our labor costs and all of that, our profit and everything included in that, which we can then apply our sales tax to because the government's got to take their money. We can then have a very thorough quote that we know in our business we're making back the money we need to, we're making the money that we want to, and we can ship that off to our client for approval.
Now what this does is it allows you to create accurate
estimates that you can send out to your clients and ensure that you are making back the costs that you want in your business to grow a profitable business. It also creates a system for your business to be able to hand this estimating process off to anybody in your business, and you'll come around the same number. Now, this will take time for you to create these production rates and to get in the habit of creating data from the job process in the field and translating that to your own production rates. And you can make an argument that this will take time, too much time, and it's easier to just multiply two figures together for a square footage pricing. But ultimately, what you want to be doing in your business is pre-qualifying your clients to the point that you are confident that the time spent in estimating will lead to a sale. And that begins prior to the consultation that you will meet with the client, and you can make sure that you are asking the right questions to that client. And then on that consultation, you can continue to decide whether or not this is a client for you, that your time spent doing this will be worthwhile. All you will be doing is applying the labor in the field, followed by the production rate time for each step of the process, and finally the cost of sale. Everything else is taken care of with your estimate when you set this up to create your overhead expenses, your profits, and the employees that you have in the field and on salary. What this will additionally help you do with this breakdown of cost of sale, labor costs, overhead expenses, and profit to come after the job and do a job costing report to be able to understand what went right and what went wrong on that project. We will get more into job costing in future videos, but ultimately you can compare what the estimated amount was compared to the actual amount with the labor time, budgeted labor costs, overhead expenses, and the profit on that job. You can dissect that project and understand what happened on that project and be able to improve moving forward in your business. That's how we go about quoting, estimating, using our budget. I hope this helps you. If it does, you can check out our budget and estimate spreadsheet, link in the description below. Like this video and comment if you want to hear more about all of this budgeting and estimating. Thank you for watching.